So can you see my current PowerPoint?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. So as you're aware, I'm currently completing the Diploma of Leadership and Management, and for Module 1, the concentration was around emotional intelligence and how it's affecting how it affects the workplace and how it can improve the workplace. And for this particular presentation, I want to put forward some ideas on maybe ways we could roll out emotional intelligence in our workplace, both with WeBuild and also project-based. I'm sure in your roles you would understand emotional intelligence, and from my dealings with you, you do. So I'll just commence the presentation. So basically, emotional intelligence, as it's read there, is to recognise, understand and manage and use emotions effectively, both in ourselves and in others, to help guide the thinking, behaviour and interpersonal relationships of our people. I feel strongly on emotional intelligence, and as it says here, it's a key skill that helps individuals navigate social complexities and build stronger relationships, and helps us make better decisions, and that would be through the collaboration. It's obviously both, as it's called, it bases itself more on emotional and social competencies rather than the IQ, which is your cognitive abilities. So as I've learnt regarding the emotional intelligence, so it concentrates a lot on your own self-awareness of your emotions, to understand how our own emotions as they happen. So feelings, thoughts, how the feelings impact your thoughts and actions. Then the self-regulation, which is a good one for me to use, and that's just to, if I get myself in a situation where I feel my emotions changing, where I can remove myself from the situation, which would be, to try and adapt to stop that from escalating. And then the others are motivation, empathy, and then our social skills, which is social skills is a big one on projects, obviously, because we need to have good, strong relationships. We need to be able to communicate clearly, have to resolve conflicts, inspire others, and build networks. I think you would both agree. The key one is, I haven't really witnessed, and maybe I just haven't seen, but where emotional intelligence is something that's emphasised within the project or within WeBuild. We do a lot of mental health work and things like that, and maybe it's because it's at a leadership level that they feel it's important. I think it's important that everybody understands emotional intelligence in the workplace. So I've just, why I think emotional intelligence will be is an important factor to build, the strong team. So emotional intelligence, it boosts leadership, communication, collaboration, stress management, and overall workplace success. So just a few key areas: enhanced leadership and management skills, better decision making, conflict resolution, improved communication and team collaboration, effective stress and change management, fostering a positive organisational culture, and a higher job satisfaction and employee retention, which on projects is often difficult, and this one is the same. Sorry. So as part of this module, I had to do some observations and then reflect on those, which is what I've done here. So as it reads, the reason for completing the observations with my colleagues was to determine if emotional intelligence was present within our team. When it was present, what was the impact on the team, and when it wasn't, what was the impact on the team? So there's obviously there's quite a few different cultures in our particular office, and some of those cultures I haven't really worked with in the intensity that I work with them here, being from being like the Asian areas of India, Pakistan, mostly. And my notice through some of the communications that have been had is that when spoken to rudely or loudly in a bad manner, they tend to go into their shell, close off, and not stand up for themselves, which is somewhat different to what I'm used to, I would say. So this causes them to internalise their feelings and emotions. They become quiet, subdued. I found that if they're feeling, but I found that when they're feeling supported and comfortable in their environments, so, you know, there's some emotional intelligence there, they are happy to raise concerns and open discussion. When needing to discuss a problem with these team members for the best outcome, a calm conversation explaining the issues and discussing resolution is key. Whereas previous experience, you know, a lot dealt with American and European people, they tend to be a lot more direct and loud in their communication when discussing issues with a lot of emotion. Also more communicative in their physical communication as well, which can be seen as intimidating.
What about the French?
I don't know much about them. I only worked with one, and he seems to be pretty good on his emotional intelligence.
I'm not going to comment. Keep going. I can't comment.
So then when you mix these two cultures together, so you have your nice passive, you know, internalising Asian cultures with the loud and aggressive US and European cultures, if we're not emotionally aware, intelligent on these situations, then we cause, you know, those people to go into their shells. And as I've mentioned here, which can be seen as intimidating, causing different reactions from different people. Some aren't bothered by this type of communication, and others do not appreciate it at all, like our Indian and Pakistani friends.
If I may interrupt you, Jackie, just a few comments here. So, first of all, I think it's a very good topics. Maybe we can discuss on the conclusion, but just here, I mean, having a diverse culture on the team, and I think we had the chance at some point to discuss, you and me, and maybe more frequently with the team on some meeting in the past, that it's definitely a strong point, and it's even my point of view a must, and definitely a lot of positive points for the team, for the result, for the company, to have this diverse culture background, 100%. But it also brings some challenges, and definitely not having the same communication background. I think it's well explained here, or not having not the same way, not the same expectation, not the same, but different approach, bringing some challenges. So that's a challenge. I think it's a fair point. And yeah, that's a good comment here. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, like I mentioned, I haven't worked in a situation where, you know, I'm working with a lot of Indian and Pakistanis before, and so I've learnt a lot as well, right? Because I approach everyone the same way until I understand them, and this is just helping. It's just bringing so much more awareness. So I've just, you know, being very, you know, because we are so culturally diverse, we've got every nationality on the project, I would almost think. That's where it's more around the education of emotional intelligence and the training. So people are also also that not so much that people talk badly to, the cultures that can't take the way they're spoken to. It's more that they also understand that it's not the way someone's speaking to them is not necessarily how they're perceiving it.
Yeah, and there is no one way. There is different ways.
That's
Everyone
right.
has his own ways, and we just need to adapt. But we are back to another very important skill of a manager is to adapt his way and his discussion to the person he has in front of him. And depending on the background, the culture, the experience, is it the gender, blah blah blah. We need to adapt. A junior or senior. That's another important point. We are back to this one too again. Yeah. Okay, Jackie, sorry to interrupt you. Please keep
Okay, I
going.
appreciate the conversation. And so that's where I just feel that this sort of training, even if it's minimal at the lower levels, is really important for all the employees. So these are just obvious, we've discussed them already, but the benefits to STOM project and WeBuild as a whole of a highly emotional intelligence contributes to the improved mental health, which is a high value on the project that we're all aware of. Leadership effectiveness as a project with the current high turnover of staff, improved leadership and effectiveness, I feel, is key to lowering our turnover. Teamwork. Obviously, a project will only be delivered with teamwork. An individual cannot deliver this project, which is why we need to really get that good feeling within the teams. And then conflict resolution. We've got thousands of employees from all walks of life and nationalities working to deliver the one project. There's going to be conflicts. Good conflict resolution skills are important to resolve a conflict quickly and effectively whilst keeping good relationships. I feel that I really do work hard on making sure my relationships are good with these site PMs and everyone on site to make sure that shall any issues arise where we know that we can sort them out and keep our relationship intact. And then we have better employees. Employees who manage their emotions well typically experience greater project satisfaction, greater job satisfaction and engagement. Their ability to handle personal challenges positively influences morale and motivation, which lowers turnover rates and enhances workforce stability, which WeBuild being new-ish to Australia, I think this is, we want to get people to come and we want them to stay with WeBuild and get that good name out there where people want to work for them. And individuals with strong emotional intelligence often advance more quickly in their careers due to better interpersonal skills, leadership capabilities, and adaptability. And so it helps individuals respond rather than react to stressful situations, which, as Dave's experiencing well, and we experience also daily, we have to be able to manage those stressful situations. Which may be as easy as removing yourself from a short period of time, but we have to have our tools on how to.
I think it's a fair point. The stress, it's even more an exacerbation about this difficulty of emotional intelligence, because I can take the same conflict between two persons, because of course conflict happen every day, whatever you are on site or at corporate. If you take the same conflict with the same person on a period that there is a lot of stress, talking about stress can be personal outside of the job, or I think it's combination about the site, because we are in the middle of the project, requests everywhere, everything urgent, and you take exactly same conflict or same discussion with those two same persons 6 months before, on another period where there is much less stress, generally speaking, it's not the same difficulty, it's not the same. So the stress itself is helping or not the emotional. So emotional intelligence helps you to manage your stress and the stress of your team, but also the stress impact the difficulty to have this intelligence or not.
Yeah.
I think it's
And that's where I think that's the self-awareness part is the biggest key. You know, so you can monitor if you're coming to work that day and you're feeling a bit more stressed than normal.
Yeah.
It's probably just as easy as saying to the team, hey, you know, I had a crap night's sleep, so I may be a bit short today. Everyone's aware of it, you know, because you understand how you're feeling, and they'll probably, you know, leave you alone a little bit more than normal, which is, you know, important for all of us at times.
Yep.
So some of the initiatives that I've worked through and think that are quite easily rolled out on a project and through a company through the right paths. So some awareness training on emotional intelligence. Some people don't even understand what it is or know what it is or know that it is a thing. Yeah, it can be easily rolled out within individual teams or the project as a whole, you know, on a team's kind of training. It's obviously best in person because it gets the interaction happening, but that's one of the initiatives that I think the project would really benefit as a minimum is just rolling out some awareness training on it. And then maybe people will take the next step to either look for some more detailed training or, investigate it themselves externally. And then leadership development, which is obviously what you're giving me, which is fantastic, to learn more about it and understand my own, which I've had to do a few self emotional self-assessments, which I've provided to my team to get their feedback on, etc. So it's a real eye opener when you're able to do those things, which is number 3, which is the emotional intelligence assessment tool. They would be great for managers to get an understanding from their teams and people they deal with in the work world, even I guess even at home. But also they're good to run for the staff as well, just so they can do the assessment and then we can review it in groups and provide feedback. Opens the communication, helps with the collaboration, and it really helps the employees feel part of the bigger picture. And obviously feel cared for, which everyone wants to feel. And then obviously the last one, mindfulness practices. Some people do them at home. I try to from as regularly as I can, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people aren't really aware of them. So, and this is literally a no cost, 10-minute break for someone. So we could roll out options of various team mindfulness practices, short breathwork sessions, meditation sessions, team walking groups, other team building activities. They can be completed in any of their break times. And this is not about forcing people to take part. It's just about making them available to encourage people to take part by emphasising the benefits. These activities, if you do them yourselves, but they really help regulate your stress, which will then relax people a little more, encourage the open communication, the emotional self-reflection, and team bonding, obviously, by people doing these in groups. And literally, you can do a breathwork session in 5 minutes and feel way better than you did 5 minutes before. Same as, I guess, a meditation as well. So they're just a few initiatives that I thought potentially we could go to the powers that be, whether it's through HR or maybe you're aware that we're already doing stuff like this, but I'm not aware of it. Dave, do you know if Webuild touch on this?
No, they don't really. A lot of projects do the traditional barbecue, either a breakfast or a lunch, or celebrating a milestone with a morning tea, that type of thing, because that also brings the group together in more of an informal atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that's traditionally what a lot of projects would do.
That's what we've been doing on Storm since day one. It has been maybe some wave, maybe sometime was more the Friday breakfast, and we were highlighting milestone or welcoming, introducing the new team member. That was more maybe at the beginning of the project. And we have sometimes some drinks, some barbecue at the warehouse. We've been celebrating the 1 year of the warehouse, etc., etc. I think it's an important one. It's a good one. Should not be just that, but I think it's a good start, of course.
Yeah,
We can always do more, for sure. I think we have not done that bad on this point, Jackie. No, I mean
No.
we are trying, and it brings people together, like you say, celebrate a particular event, keep the team together, and also allowing kind of soft discussion on this kind of atmosphere that you might not have in the floor on your desk or at the coffee corner. So people feel like a bit outside of the project just for this time, and also create some connection, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you're right. I think you've got to do different things. I mean, you might have the barbecue, but are you taking into account your vegans or the people who don't eat pork? So they may feel like they're forced to go to the barbecue, but I can't eat, or I choose not to eat.
It's a good one. But we've done for this kind of scenario, Jackie, particularly yourself, we are looking closely at this kind of stuff, right? So everyone can find his place, let's say.
Different initiatives like you're putting in place, Jackie, it also takes you away from that traditional barbecue because, and it could be, I've seen some projects, there might be half a dozen people who are interested in basketball or squash or indoor cricket, and then they create teams. So it's got to be done at different levels and different ideas because it's not one solution that fits all.
No, I think those are great, like team building activities, which definitely help. But I think coming back to like the actual emotional intelligence side of it is people having a bit more of a deeper understanding, more so of themselves and how it can impact them, which would come back to the training and opening that up. But we definitely, as for our team, definitely do the team building thing quite regularly. We've just started a social club for the warehouse where we can all catch up once a month for whatever we decide to eat that day. But the emotional intelligence is that other, I guess it's a bit more of a formal, a bit more work base, to help them improve as well. Or they go through their career blind to it and not excel.
Yeah, but it's one thing I learned many years ago in my career is people also want information in different ways. You might be the type of person, who's after information, just give it to me short, sharp, dot points. Or you might have a person in your team who wants a bit more of the detail, more of the understanding. So it's trying to tailor your communication for the individual and how the individual prefers to receive that communication.
100%.
Some people are
very important one. Yeah, I agree.
Give it to me short, sharp, dot points. That's all I'm interested in. And some people want the full story. Some people like graphs. Some people just like dot points. So it's just trying to tailor your reports and tailor your communication to suit that individual or the audience.
Yeah, exactly. I think this has been a really good conversation, and I would like to be able to speak to HR about, even if we can just roll out some short things, even if it's a lunch and learn or something around emotional intelligence. I've noticed that they're starting to roll out lunch and learn. So
I think it's a good idea, and to let HR lead this, it makes sense. With a couple of managers, maybe can come and join those meeting, training, or session, whatever the name, to make sure that and demonstrate that everyone is concerned about that, and but it has to be accessible, straight to the point, easy for accessible to everyone. if it's too complex, too lengthy, you will lose people.
Yeah, for sure. Because we can't, obviously the impacts on project is what for us is is it taking too much time out of the people? Then there's an effect on project. So it's trying to limit those. So potentially a lunch and learn session. If it's okay with you guys, I might reach out to the training manager and just see, if they have any plans around
No
this.
issue from me. Oh, please do.
Yeah, it's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them and just see what we can collaborate on and hopefully get some information rolled out anyway. I think it's really important to grow our team and as I say here, I just feel like organisations that prioritise emotional intelligence development benefit from the workplace culture grounded in trust, inclusivity and open communication, such cultures enhance creativity, innovation and overall employee well-being, driving collective success. This will encourage employee retention, which is always difficult in a hot environment, which will guarantee a successfully completed project. And for WeBuild, getting their name out there as the employer of choice for people around Australia and obviously around the world, but concentrated efforts are here in Australia at the moment.
Well, that's very good, Jackie. Thank you.
All right,
Hey,
well,
Jackie.
thank you both for your time. I know you're very busy, and I appreciate your help for me to complete this course.
If you can please share the Prezo, Jackie.
Yep.
If you don't mind. Have a good one. I need to jump on the other side too. Yeah. See you.
Okay.
Thanks.
No worries.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao, David.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Bye.